I analyzed AVAX down to the last detail. Stay tuned to get all the information necessary to educate yourself about this hyped and supposed Ethereum killer. Hello and welcome to Finance with Excel. Today we will take a deep dive into another layer 1. Today we will talk about the Avalanche network. AVAX is the native token of the Avalanche platform, and it's used to first secure the network through staking. Second, acts as fuel on Avalanche to do transactions, as fees are paid in the native token. Third, govern the protocol. Keep in mind that I am not a financial advisor. Never ever trust a random dude on the internet. Always verify the herd information yourself. Avalanche uses proof of stake or POS as consensus mechanism. A consensus mechanism is a method for validating entries into a blockchain and keeping the chain secure. Avalanche uses random sample voting and gossip to make the consensus faster than on most other chains. This means that Avalanche is, and I quote, a DAG-optimized consensus protocol. A DAG is a directed acyclic graph. Avalanche still calls itself a blockchain in most of their documents. I will do the same, as the differences are small in the greater picture. To become a validator, a coin owner must stake a predetermined amount of tokens in order to be able to participate in the consensus. To become an Avalanche validator, it is necessary to keep a minimum of 2000 AVAX in stake. Alternatively, you can also delegate your stake to other validators. Then you can participate and earn a passive income without having to buy AVAX for more than $100,000. Delegators only need 25 AVAX in order to participate in the consensus. Coins can be locked for 2 weeks up to 1 year. Longer lock times will earn higher rewards. Avalanche is a smart contract compatible network with the following properties. First, scalability. Up to 4,500 TPS are possible on the main chain, including subnets where could be infinite TPS possible. Second, finality is also reached super quick. Unfortunately, the AVAX Foundation makes contradictory statements here. The white paper states that it takes less than 1 second, while a graphic on the homepage states a maximum of 2 seconds. In any case, finality is achieved quickly. Third, decentrality. AVAX has about 1,400 validators at the moment, which makes them relatively decentral, although compared with Ethereum, they still lag behind a lot, as Ethereum has more than 300,000 validator nodes. Fourth, they are green and therefore environmental friendly and sustainable. Proof of stake wastes a lot less energy to secure the network compared to proof of work or mining. Fifth, permissionless. Everyone can participate and join the network at will. Sixth, the network is secure, as the novel consensus ensures stronger security guarantees well above the 51% standard of other networks. Avalanche has 3 main use cases. First, building application-specific blockchains, both permissioned and permissionless deployments. In other words, private and public networks are possible. These are the so-called subnets on Avalanche. Second, being the home of dApps or decentralized applications which are built on the basis of smart contracts. Third, building tokens or digital assets like, for example, a stablecoin or a meme coin. This could also be an NFT or non-fungible token. Sometimes Avalanche is also called Layer 0. This is because it can run subnets or basically other blockchains on top. This makes them similar to Polkadot or Cosmos, 2 of the major interoperability projects. They are still able to compete with Layer 1s like Ethereum or Solana, as their main chain also kicks ass. Recently, subnets were launched in Avalanche. A subnetwork or subnet is a set of validators working together to achieve consensus on the state of a set of blockchains. Each subnet consists of a group of validators who work together in order to bring consensus to one or more blockchains. In plain English, this means that subnets are scaling solutions for the AVAX blockchain. Subnets allow projects to launch their own customized blockchain within Avalanche. These subnets don't share capacity with the main AVAX network. They are also independent from other subnetworks. To put it simply, the subnet can have high scalability and low transaction cost without being burdened by the mainnet traffic of the underlying Avalanche blockchain. Subnets enable anyone to easily create powerful, reliable, and secure permissioned or permissionless networks with custom implementations. This includes features not available on other chains, like first, selecting which validators should secure the subnet. Second, set own gas prices. Even another asset can be used as gas. Third, custom models. Fourth, set own gas prices, and each subnet is able to validate multiple blockchains simultaneously. Subnets are free to choose the requirements for validators, like for example, first, KYC, second, AML, third, the country or region the validator must come from. The team looks amazing. It has a lot of experience from Fortune 500 companies. Many of these guys also got educated on elite universities. Also positive, they don't only have people from legacy businesses, but also people with experience in blockchain companies. The AVAX network is split into different chains. Each has its own purpose. AVAX tokens exist on the X chain, where they can be traded, on the P chain, where they can be provided as a stake when validating the primary network, and on the C chain to use AVAX in smart contracts or to pay for gas fees. Avalanche is also EVM or Ethereum virtual machine compatible. This is very beneficial for the users, which can just stick to the most used wallet, MetaMask, then interacting with the protocol. It is also very beneficial for developers, since most of them are familiar with Ethereum or the Solidity programming language. They don't have to learn a new language if they want to develop on Avalanche. It's actually even more beneficial due to the EVM compatibility. Existing apps developed in Solidity can be easily launched on Avalanche via copy-paste and ported over from Ethereum, for example. Avalanche also has a gigantic incentive program to incentivize more development and attract developers. In March, a $290 million incentive program called Multiverse was launched to accelerate the growth of subnets specifically. According to the Avalanche Foundation, initially, the program is focused on supporting new ecosystems, including but not limited to blockchain-enabled gaming, DeFi, NFTs, and institutional use cases. DeFi Kingdoms, a huge blockchain game, already took the bait and will be available on Avalanche soon. In addition to that, blockchain specifically engineered native KYC functionality will soon be integrated. This might sound bad at first, but this has a potential to accelerate institutional adoption of DeFi. The AVAX network looks healthy. It is used quite a lot. Daily transactions, daily active users are on the rise. Although we see a dip in the charts lately, I wouldn't be too worried, as we are in the bear market right now and some people are capitulating. But once we return to the bull market and people regain interest in crypto and AVAX, I am sure that the numbers will shoot up again and beat the old highs. The previously mentioned technical innovations also support this thesis. The design of the protocol is very elegant and flexible, meaning that subnets can be added or removed quickly, and the subnets are also highly flexible. The AVAX token has a fixed supply, which most other POS coins don't have. It is set at 720 million token. AVAX could also become deflationary as the fees are not earned by the validators but burned instead. Avalanche has a huge ecosystem built around it. DeFi is one big sector, but they also got games and NFTs on their chain. They also got VCs or venture capitalist backing. A lot of VCs are invested. The company has received funding from Andreessen Horowitz, Initialized Capital, and Polychain Capital, to name only a few. If the professionals are investing, many people interpret this as a green light to invest as well. The thinking behind this logic is that supposedly smarter people have invested and they simply follow the smart money. Price-wise, AVAX got annihilated lately, losing 83% of its value in only 7 months, dropping from $145 to $24 at the time of recording. Many people argue that it is a great time to buy the dip. Let's now evaluate the cons. They are in a very competitive environment. Often Avalanche is called Ethereum Killer. But can they be one? Many failed already or are in the process of failing. On top of that, there are many others trying to take away market share from Ethereum as well. Most of them are unique, fresh and innovative technologies. Examples are Polkadot, Solana, Cardano and Phantom, to only name a few. So far, I have only praised the subnets very strongly. However, one can also doubt the design choices, because the high flexibility and customizability hurts composability. If subnets are not standardized, it is difficult for them to work together, like the often cited DeFi Legos should, for example. Even worse is that the security and scalability on Avalanche is way worse than their marketing is suggesting. They claim that basically infinite subnets can be added without any issues, which is definitely not true. Especially security gets hurt very badly if some of the subnets only have a handful of validators. You could argue that a truly scalable system provides the same security guarantees across the system, regardless of where the logic is executed. Ethereum 2.0 and Polkadot provide full security across the whole system. With material different levels across chains like on Avalanche, inter-shard attacks become more feasible and cheap and easy to execute, especially if composability is actually a thing and subnets communicate with each other. Then one less secure subnet can affect the security of more secure ones. In effect, the entire system becomes only as secure as the least secure subnet is. Another potential negative impact of the subnets is that no AVAX is required to pay for transactions on these. So this might lower the demand for AVAX, although keep in mind that each validator still needs to lock 2000 AVAX, meaning that subnet validators could basically help to lower AVAX availability and make the token more scarce. So at least some of the negative effect will be reversed. A very uncommon design choice the Avalanche designers made is that there is no slashing for the validators, meaning that they will not get punished for misbehavior and lose their stake. The only consequence they got to fear is that they are not getting the staking reward, which will be held back until the staking period ends. Misbehavior gets only punished slightly, and this might hurt security, as you can try to double spend with very little risk. The argument for having no slashing is that almost 100% of the time only well-behaving, honest nodes get punished when they made a mistake, like for example misconfiguring the node or having downtime. Another problem with Avalanche is that they are unnecessarily complex, having 3 chains with the C chain, the X chain and the P chain, making it unnecessarily complicated for users to understand what chain they need to go to perform the action they are willing to do. This is definitely a barrier to entry, and as most people don't want to get into the nitty-gritty details and understand a complicated design in order to use a protocol. It's also super inconvenient, as you as a user have to switch back and forth and back and forth and back and forth in order to perform different tasks. This can be very confusing for newcomers. The marketing is also often misleading. Disadvantages are not mentioned and advantages are exaggerated. For example, Avalanche claims to have infinite TPS with subnets, not mentioning the trade-offs. They also bash on Ethereum without telling you about the ongoing transition to proof of stake and their layer 2s. Then saying that 2 mining pools on Ethereum have bigger than 51% of the voting power. They also forget to mention the fact that Ethereum has 300,000 validators and not just 1.4k like Avalanche. There are even more problems. You remember Terra Luna? Yes, they had a stablecoin called UST, which was burned to the ground, including the Luna token as well. What many don't remember, they also had a reserve which was not only in Bitcoin. To my information, they still hold a ton of AVAX, and if they dump these at some point, the price of Avalanche could drop even further. And it gets even worse. Avalanche and Luna got intertwined shortly before the Terra crash by connecting ecosystems and also swapping assets. Avalanche actually swapped AVAX for UST and Terra, meaning that this is a double hit for Avalanche. First, they traded 200 million worth of AVAX for now basically worthless shitcoins. Second, they will be hit hard again once the Terra Foundation sells off their AVAX. The Terra partnership could also backfire on the regulatory front, as regulators might not only be concerned with Terra but also with Avalanche, given the integration in their ecosystem. I also found another red flag in their ICO documents. The initial tokenomics really suck. The team and the insiders were insanely greedy, securing a lot of the tokens. The same is true for the foundation as well. If I see such a huge team and insider allocation, I usually don't invest in the ICO in question. The huge insider allocation also might put more downward pressure on the price. The tokens get unlocked over a course of 4 years, and the team could be dumping their huge allocations. Another issue is that the foundation is not only holding a huge chunk of the tokens, but it also is very intransparent about the usage of these funds. More transparency issues are that the initial tokenomics were taken down from the page and the roadmap got removed as well. It is also impossible to find out which wallets belong to the Avalanche Foundation or AVAX. AVAX also constantly misses or delays important milestones, which might be a reason why they took down the roadmap. Given that almost all the other projects have unforeseen delays as well, I wouldn't put that much emphasis on this though. A new updated wallet, for example, is needed, but Avalanche wasn't able to deliver on this front yet. The very important question now is what to do, and if the hype is justified or if this is just another shitcoin mimicking an Ethereum Killer. You heard all the arguments yourself, make up your own mind. I personally think that Avalanche is a quality project, but it's not as groundbreaking and innovative as they claim to be. Avalanche has not found the holy grail either, and as always in life, it is about trade-offs, especially the blockchain trilemma, which apparently also exists in direct acyclic graphs. If you want scalability, you have to compromise on decentralization and or security, and vice versa. It is still true that you cannot achieve all three at once. I am not yet invested in Avalanche, but will probably put some money into this coin, as for me the advantages outweigh. I also think that the fundamentals are strong and the concerns will hopefully be temporarily only and addressed soon. What do you think? That's it from me. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye, until next time.